Hello everyone and welcome to Fenix News Live. As you can see, I have a very special guest here with me. Everybody please say hello to Mike Dynamo. Yes.
Mike. Oh my God.
We're going to have a lot of fun today. So for those of you who are new to these, we are going to talk about a little bit of news. We're going to take some questions and comments from the chat, so please keep chiming in. I already see some people here, so welcome guys. And we are going to have fun, and we are just going to support each other through this very stressful time in the news cycle, which is all of the time, of course. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We got a few things on the agenda. So first up, the state of the government shutdown. Okay, this is the latest and greatest news that we have. There is a vote this afternoon. So, you know, it kind of seems like maybe we're not gonna fall off of the fiscal cliff after all.
We never fall off the fiscal cliff. That's what's great about fiscal cliff. You can make a fiscal cliff, and then you can be like, we're gonna fall off, send us more money. And then we do.
Yeah. It's, we should try that.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's look into that.
Hey, we're falling off the fiscal cliff. Please send us more money.
Guys.
And they do.
They do.
Let's see
okay.
if it works.
We'll see if that works today. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the latest on the 2024 race, including some not good news for the Republican frontrunner, Senor Donald Trump. Oh, sad times. Sad times. I think all of our hearts are breaking right now. Yeah, very broken. Okay, so let's start out with the government shutdown. Mike, they are going about it all wrong this time. What's supposed to happen is that the Freedom Caucus throws a tantrum, and then we all wait until the last possible second before someone shoves a bottle in their mouth and rocks them to sleep, and then does what the rest of the country wants them to do. It is supposed to be as stressful as possible, and it doesn't really work unless you're freaking the stock market out. But this time, it's like days away from the shutdown deadline, and it seems like Democrats and Republicans are gonna work together to defeat the Freedom Caucus?
Oh, yeah. They're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. Look, I'll tell you right now, if there's one thing I've learned about politicians is that they will do whatever they need to be right.
Yeah.
Not to win, not to be the best, not to beat Rocky in the 11th round, but to be right. That's what matters.
They love being right, and in some cases, the very far right.
The furthest of fur rights.
Can't get much farther right.
So far to the right.
Can't see him over there. I just, this whole bipartisan voting together on a solution thing, I mean, is that even a sensible way to govern? It sounds ludicrous.
That does sound a bit ludicrous.
Now, Mike, have you read about this laddered proposal from another Mike Johnson? You're definitely my favorite of those two. Do you want to explain this laddered proposal, or you want me to do that?
I think you should do that.
Okay. So basically, instead of having one big funding deadline for all the government funding, we're going to have two funding deadlines, one in January and one in February. It's definitely punting instead of actually solving any of our problems, but it's punting 2 times instead of 1 time, which means that the government could only partially shut down instead of all the way shut down.
I get it now. I get it. Punting twice.
Yeah.
We need to bring that to the NFL too.
Yeah. A double punt. We're not doing double punts in the NFL, and that's revolutionary.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we should be.
We should be. I think we can all agree on that.
Of course.
I know very little about football. So, the other thing is that it means that the partial shutdowns that could happen wouldn't happen until after the holidays, which is kind of nice because that gives us room to focus on our peaceful holiday traditions like wrestling our fellow shoppers for an Xbox at midnight on Thanksgiving.
Look, if you want it, you get it. If you don't want it, let them have it.
How bad do you want it? That's the question. So does this mean that bipartisanship is back and that we can all just relax and just get along, just join hands and sing Kumbaya and be on the same goddamn page for a second?
Yes.
No, that's not what we're doing. So there have been 2 fights in Congress today.
Oh, Congress, why did I stop watching stuff about it?
Right.
fights.
So first up, we got Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, which is maybe the most Southern name I've heard in my entire life.
Mark Wayne Mullen?
Mark Wayne is all one word.
Oh, no. You can't.
That's not how names work. Mark Wayne Mullen, he is indeed from the South. He challenged the head of the Teamsters to a fist fight in Congress today, and Bernie Sanders had to calm him down and remind him that he was a United States senator so that he would not get into a fist fight in Congress.
Here is what I will tell you about senators. I will tell you that the more things change, the more they stay the same. That's what they used to do back in the day. You should hear the stories about my great-great-grandfathers who were senators. Or highwaymen. I'm not sure.
It was one of those things for sure.
Completely.
A lot of senatorial blood coursing through your veins.
Wait till I tell you about Marco Aaron.
Can't wait to hear those stories. So that was fight number 1 in Congress. Then Representative Tim Burchett said that Kevin McCarthy elbowed him in the kidneys ahead of the House vote on Mike Johnson's spending proposal. And again, I just have to say, whoever is in charge of content strategy at C-SPAN is doing a hell of a job. I mean, if you're going to start having UFC fights and three-piece suits, I will watch that channel all day.
All day.
Yeah.
All day.
I know TiVo's not a thing anymore, kids. You won't remember, but trust me, we would be hitting that little boop, boop button, right?
Yeah.
You remember TiVo?
No.
No.
Is that?
Nor should you.
Oh, good.
Good. It's over with now.
No.
Yeah, so all of that bipartisanship, cooperation, good time feeling doesn't seem to really be permeating the whole chamber just yet. They are supposed to vote on this laddered proposal sometime this afternoon. We just checked. They have not done it yet, so we'll keep you posted as that vote comes in later on this week. So stay tuned and keep an eye on C-SPAN in case any more fistfights break out. I think if we can get like a FanDuel sports betting integration with C-SPAN.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
That sounds really fun, right?
That's really all we need. We just need another place to watch older dudes fight each other.
Yes.
That's what we want to see. It's like bum fights, but with senators.
Yes, exactly. So, quick question for you. Now, you are a noted world traveler.
I've been places, yes.
You've been around the globe. You just got back from living in Estonia for a couple of years.
Yes.
Before that, you had a quick stint in Mexico.
Yes.
And then before that, several years living in Cambodia. So you've circumnavigated the globe.
I've gone places.
Yes.
Done things.
Yes, for sure. Have you ever seen any of those countries have a government shutdown for any reason whatsoever? I'm just curious if this is like a uniquely American thing.
Okay. To be fair, Cambodia's government is just run by one guy all the time, and now his son's taking over. So you could say that's government not working.
Streamlined.
Or you could say that is government working the way government should work, where they just let one person rule and make all the decisions for everyone.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That's a real time saver.
Yes.
If I weren't so scared of so many of the people who had the potential to be voted into that role, I would say you could try it.
You don't live in Cambodia, so you'll be fine.
Exactly. No, I meant like for here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that.
No,
that would be bad.
I already know. No. Cambodia's not like here, no.
Yes. It is a rich tapestry, a wonderful country with interesting people and foods and things.
Yes. It's a great place.
And their government doesn't shut down because one guy's in charge of it.
That's right.
Okay.
So there you go. Doesn't shut down because one guy's in charge.
What about Estonia? Right next to the Russian border. What are they up to government-wise?
Well, like Estonia is, like they run it, and there's different people. Unfortunately, it was all in Estonia, and I couldn't keep up with it.
Fair enough.
I just nodded along. I was like, this is great. Thank you for bringing me to see the government today.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay. Folks, if you want to know how the Estonian government works, you're going to have to learn some Estonian. We don't make the rules. All right, let's take a minute to go to the chat and see how we, the people, are feeling about this government shutdown avoidance thing. Let's see. Austin is here. He's ready to receive some live news. Good. You're receiving it. Mike, Austin says hi. He misses you.
Hi.
Luc, bonsoir. C'est absolument fantastique pour avoir vous ici. Wow, I really fucked that up. I majored in French. That was really bad.
Literally majored in French. Yeah.
Austin is wondering how close he should be to popping a vessel in his eye right now. I would go ahead and keep that vessel on standby.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna want to pop it pretty quickly. Yes, Midbit Maker, we got co-anchors today. We're mixing it up, just like Weekend Update. Somebody call Weekend Update. Tell them we figured it out.
That's right. I'm gonna take over their show.
Yeah, that's right. You can be the next Colin Jost, and I'll be Michael Che.
Sure, let's do it.
I think that's what everybody's thinking.
That's what
right?
everyone wants.
Yeah. Let's see. Luke, you are correct. Freedom is always an uphill struggle, and some hills are larger than others. We seem to have a big one today. Let's see. Austin suggests that we could all form a Freedom from the Freedom Caucus. Not a bad idea.
Wait, are they a superhero group?
They could be.
Freedom Caucus? No.
Yeah, I think it's Lucy Dacus, Phoebe Bridgers, and Julian Baker.
Oh, that sounds
super
really
good. Yeah,
okay.
It's gonna be good stuff.
Kind of like Marvel's, but better.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, the bipartisanship apparently has sailed. We're not going to bring it back in one day. Ultimately, any division will boil down to bipartisan election in a democracy. Yeah, that's kind of where we're finding ourselves. Keith Marshall says, we keep freezing up. Are you guys playing musical statues? No. Keith, is anybody else having trouble with the feed here? Can you let us know in the comments if we need to, I don't know, put some paddles on the internet? We'll see in just a minute. All right. In the meantime, oh, hi, Keith. You're in Essex. Oh, Keith, I cannot wait to talk later on this week. So Matt Johnson, our friend Matt Johnson from The Interesting Times, who co-hosts A Very Special Relationship with me, all this Suella Braverman stuff, I am dying to hear more about it. So, Keith, I'm sure you have had probably a way more interesting week over there than we have had over here. It's usually not the case, but yeah, this week seems like the UK went sort of bananas. Have you been reading about any of that stuff?
No.
It's wild.
I've been in Austin living my best life.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was wild over there.
It is wild over there.
And U.S. news, we don't really talk about other places as much.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, but we really need to do something about that because there are other countries in the world.
What?
No, it's a thing I heard.
No.
You should look into it.
Okay.
All right, we are going to forge ahead to our next news story with this fella. Good old Tim Scott. We got to talk about the 2024 presidential campaign. Finally starting to cook a little. So we got Tim Scott dropping out amid low polling, low fundraising, and a low possibility that he's straight if the rumors are to be believed. Mike, are we sad to see Tim Scott go?
I am so sad to see Tim Scott go. You don't even understand. When I would see that guy get up there and start talking about bloggity bloggity blah, I would feel immediately bloggity bloggity blah. And it would hurt me on the inside.
Yeah.
Now that he won't be around anymore.
Yeah.
To be made fun of by you guys.
Yep, we're all going to miss Tim Scott so much. We were all really rooting for him. Although, to be fair, of that bunch, he's probably one of the ones that I would have put towards the top. Although at the last debate, he seemed to want to just make everyone Christian, and that was kind of the answer to all the problems.
Yeah, but that would totally solve everything, just like it always has.
Yeah. Great history with that solution.
Yeah, one day things didn't work, and then slavery, and then they did. And now that's what we are.
Yeah, so you're all caught up.
100%.
So now that Tim Scott is out of the picture, frees up a little dough for Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley here.
Hey.
So not that Tim Scott had a whole bunch of dough to play with, but Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, they're both trying to scoop that up so that they can finish each other off. And I mean that in a Mortal Kombat kind of way, not in a horny way. I don't even want to think about what Ron DeSantis' old face looks like because he...
I can't do that.
You sure?
Is that it? I think that might have been it. I think I got it. I got it. Woo-hoo.
That was incredible.
Yes.
If you don't win an Oscar for that, I will start a riot. You deserve all the awards. We're going to get you a BAFTA.
Oh my goodness.
I know we're not even in the UK, but we're going to get you one of those too. That was fantastic. So in order for Nikki or Ron to really have a chance at taking on Trump in a serious way, what they got to do is they got to clear out the field of all the riffraff and consolidate all the non-Trump donors under them. So if Vivek drops out, he's damn sure not going to endorse Nikki Haley, so his money would probably go to either Trump or DeSantis. But there are still 8 total Republicans running, including a guy I have never heard of called Ryan Binkley. Are you a big Ryan Binkley fan?
Actually, no. I haven't heard of Ryan Binkley before.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, are you sure no one's just making that name up and just telling you that's who they're running?
You know, honestly, at this point, they could be, and we wouldn't know. There's so many damn people running.
Republicans.
Yeah.
God, my brain's starting to hurt. Don't even.
There's too many people running for president. I think we can all agree on that.
Wait, you know what? What if we voted for each one of them to be president, like for 4 months? So it's like, you're president for 4 months, you're president for 4 months, you're president during Christmas, and then that's how we do it. And we just keep voting in people all the time.
That sounds enormously stressful.
Does it?
The campaigns are so stressful as they are. I don't think I could handle
That's fair.
that much stress. I don't know that there's enough liquor in the world. So, Mike, since you have been through elections in other countries now, whether you understood what was going on over there or not.
Okay, fair.
But you know, you've seen how some other countries do things. What do you think is the weirdest thing about our elections and politics and all that compared to how everybody else does them?
I would say that in the United States, the weirdest thing about our politics is that we have politics. I'm telling you, we shouldn't have politics. If you want to exist in this world, you just shouldn't have politics. But I know that we spend a lot of time watching these politicians banter back and forth, watching them have all these problems, watching them get in fights in the Senate. Mm-hmm. Sure. But again, I think about Cambodia and how it's run well enough, and that just needs to be enough.
Yeah.
So I think at least in this country, we can make things happen if we want to, and I think that matters.
I don't know that we do want to.
No, so we don't want anything to happen.
Sometimes not. When Trump was president, I was perfectly happy with us not accomplishing anything at all.
Wow. Yeah, it was a good Obama season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good times. So let's talk about the Republican frontrunner, Donald Trump. So there's 3 things that have all happened in rapid succession that aren't great news for him. Number 1, Jenna Ellis's video testimony came out where she was talking about how the president didn't plan on leaving the White House after he lost, which seems a little dictatorish.
Yeah, it's like I'd totally put him in prison for that.
Yeah.
It's not up to me. I'm just here to watch.
Maybe someone should. Number 2, after he called his opponents vermin, Liz Cheney basically called him Hitler right back.
As you do when someone calls someone vermin.
Yes. No one likes being compared to Hitler, or at least they're not supposed to. Ideally. And number 3, a new filing shows that Truth Social has lost $73 million since its launch. Just want to remind everyone that he has declared bankruptcy 6 times, including on multiple casinos. You know, the places where the house always wins. Not if Trump is in charge, apparently. So, you know, I get that inflation is bad and everything is more expensive these days, and that is hard and it sucks, and I certainly feel it every time I do grocery shopping or go to a restaurant or anything like that. But I just don't think that a guy that regularly tanks his own businesses is the guy that we should call to fix any of it, unless you want like an NFT-based economy or something.
You can still have one of those?
I mean,
oh my God.
Don't tempt him. Him and Melania are real into the NFTs. There's no telling what they would do.
Everybody loves money.
This is true. Okay, before we head on over to the chat, I wanted to remind everyone that if you're enjoying yourself, if you like what we're doing, and you want to say thanks, there's 3 ways to say thanks to us. One is with a one-time or recurring donation on Ko-Fi. You can also join our Patreon, and we also have a merch store with lots of great items for your holiday shopping needs. You can subscribe to our newsletter. We have a big event coming up in December that we are really excited about.
Yes.
It's going to be so fun. I'm not going to tell you about it yet, but subscribe to the newsletter and you will be the first to hear about it. We got links for all those things in the description below. And of course, do the old like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. All right, so before we go to the chat, I want to ask a question. We have been talking about elections in other countries, and I know we usually have a good contingent of Aussies and Kiwis in the mix. We've got some Brits too, although it may be a bit late in the day for them, so thank you for staying up late to be with us. I want to ask what you guys think is the weirdest part of American elections and politics. And, you know, Mike, you kind of answered this a little bit. It seems like for you, it's the spectacle of the whole thing. Like, would you say that we make a much bigger deal out of elections than other countries? Do you think that's fair?
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Okay.
I'm just going to agree with you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes. we make such a big deal out of elections here but only the presidential one.
Right.
So like none of the other elections are even happening. No one's doing anything for, no one cares who like the person who's going to put them in prison or whatever. No one cares what the cops in their town are doing.
Right.
We only care about the presidential election with this attitude that if we vote for the right guy, he'll somehow fix the problems, and then getting sad when they never do. But now 4 years has went by, and you had to deal with all that, paying all that extra money, et cetera, and just wait for your chance to finally vote for a new guy, because you don't have enough time to keep up with it.
Right, exactly. That is a wonderful summation of how we do elections in this country, because you're right. The off-year elections, we kind of care about the midterms, but the off-year elections, we're just like, what am I going to vote for? Like the county alderman?
Yeah, 7,000 people voted for the county alderman. Yeah, beautiful.
We don't have time for that shit. We only have time for the president, because the president, like you said, is the only guy or girl one day that can fix everything all at once in 4 years.
I didn't want to say it, but I think we like a king.
Yeah.
I think we like a king.
Yeah. We do have a little bit of that, colonial backstory.
Even if he does nothing.
Yeah.
Americans sometimes seem to like.
Yep.
Okay.
This is true. For me, I think the weirdest thing about our elections is how long they take.
Oh my God, yeah.
When I talk to Matt over in the UK, and it's like, okay, we're gonna have an election for a new prime minister. It takes y'all 3 months? That's the whole election cycle.
3 months?
What
are you even doing over there? 3 months?
It's very speedy. You don't have time to find out what kind of, racist shit they wrote in their high school yearbook. How are you supposed to dig up every single thing they've ever said or done?
I would love to know what British people were writing in their yearbooks.
Don't look at Suella Braverman's yearbook. It's gonna be nasty.
What did this woman do?
We're gonna get into that. We have a whole episode scheduled for that on Thursday with Matt, so you'll have to hang out and wait for that one. Okay, let's go to the chat and see what everybody else has to say. Invisible Chicken says, we will totally miss Tim Scott's stories about his mom. Yes, correct. What are we going to get our Tim Scott mom news from now on? Austin says we will see Tim at the reunion show, I'm sure. Yes, can't wait. Somebody call Andy Cohen. We got to, get a few bottles of wine.
We could probably get him in here.
Yeah, we could probably get him in here. Keith from over in the UK, over in Essex, says, thankfully Suella Braverman is politically no more. Hooray for now. Scary, foreshadowing. She does have a U.S. connection. Her real name is Sue Ellen, apparently after the character in Dallas. Are you serious?
No.
That is so funny.
Wow. I gotta go watch Dallas and Sue Ellen pray for me. I have to piece this. Nibs.
So you said that Trump's been out fascisting even Braverman lately. That is scary. If the two of them ever teamed up, yikes.
Hey.
Yikes on bikes.
Well, no. We're not doing that. Don't you start talking about my potential next president and all the trouble he's having. Who's someone else doing better than him? I don't think so. I don't want to hear it. No.
Yes, it shouldn't be a competition, but it turns out it is. Let's see. Austin says the weirdest part is the nudity. We do occasionally have some nudity showing up in elections, like the OnlyFans lady in, I believe it was Virginia, where the Republicans mailed porn to people because she did some OnlyFans stuff and they found out about it. And so they mailed pictures of it to people.
Which you should do.
That's what you would do in that situation?
First of all, if any woman ever starts anything with you, what you need to do is email porn of them to other people. That is clearly the only way to stop it.
Sensible.
Perfect sense.
Invisible Chicken, which, P.S., such a good screen name. The weirdest part is how an election cycle runs for at least a year before the election. No one in Australia is running an election campaign for anywhere near that long, nor should they. I completely agree with you. It's way too long. Keith says in the UK, people get bored if the campaign is longer than 3 weeks. Keith, we would love to be bored by our elections, but in recent history, they just seem to be a frenzied mess of chaos.
We treat them like celebrities.
We do. Yes, celebrities and kings.
But celebrities and kings.
Is Kardashianize a word?
Yes. Actually, I think you just made it one.
Okay.
Well done.
I think that's a word. Look at us.
Kardashianize.
Inventing words today.
Maybe this show's about the wrong stuff.
Austin says you can't properly monetize your candidacy in 3 months. That's insane. That's right. There's not enough time for you to get a graphic designer going on NFTs of yourself wearing various unrealistic costumes, like a spaceman or a cowboy or a backyard burger chef, which I still can't believe that was one of those.
Oh, that was for real?
Are you unfamiliar with the Trump NFTs?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, no.
Okay.
I didn't see that one.
We're going to go look it up after this because it's wild.
Okay.
Keith says that 3 months is way too long. Still agree with you, Keith.
100%.
Ray's still having some freezing stuff. Swissthoon60, I think I'm pronouncing that right, says, great, another competition to the bottom. That's...
We out here on the bottom, man. We out here on the bottom. Bottom.
Exactly. He does this all the time. It's so great. You're right. Yeah, it's a race to the bottom with all of these candidates. It's terrible. Ray, oh good, you're back. Okay. And my friend Swiss says only in Kardashian land. That is so true.
Kardashianize yourself in Kardashian.
That is how these elections work. Okay, guys, we are going to wrap it up for today. We got to go check on that congressional vote and see if it happened yet, see if any more fist fights broke out during the voting process. Me too, honestly.
I just want to see a little fight.
Yes, more fights.
Maybe I'll check out MSNBC.
Yeah, let's not have decorum. We're done with decorum.
Decorum's been over here.
Decorum is out and defighting is in. That's what we're doing. Ray says that rule for booting the speaker with one vote is still in effect. I wonder how long Johnson will stay up.
That's a good question.
Ray, if he stays up too long, then his son will get a little bell notification.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're poor accountability partners.
Oh, I see.
Making a bone a joke.
Oh, right. I do remember reading about that.
So fucking weird.
Something about them. You know what? I'm not going to bring it up. It's very strange.
Don't bring it up. You'll send a notification to a child, apparently. All right. We're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for being here. I would like to especially thank Mr. Mike Dynamo for being here.
Pew, pew, pew,
It's
pew, pew.
very fun to have you along for the ride. So everybody, Mike has a new album called The Cancer Chronicles. I want everyone to head on over to Bandcamp and do a search for Mike Dynamo, and that'll pop up. Go get yourself a copy of that album. It is terrific. This guy has made a lot of albums, put out a lot of music over the years. I think this one is the best one. It's really, really good.
Well, thank you very much for saying so. It was great to put it together and deal with my problems musically.
Yes. You can either deal with your problems musically. We do it with comedy. Drugs and alcohol also works. And cheese and chocolate we'll do in a pinch too.
I'm down with chocolate, but me no like cheese.
I know, that's right.
Yucky, no.
Which makes me very worried about you.
Yep.
Later on this week, we've got the season finale of A Very Special Relationship, our podcast with Matt Johnston from across the pond, where we are going to get into all of this Suella Braverman nonsense. And then David Cameron is back. What is happening over there?
Sounds really fun. I'm going to give it a watch.
We're going to dig into it. And then, of course, we have our usual show on Friday. Next week is Thanksgiving, so we're going to be taking a break. But we are going to be back the week after that. We have some fun surprises coming up for you in December, and we cannot wait to see you then. Bye-bye, you guys.
Later.